Hey, hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Well, viewers, I'm going to be, this comment we're going to be discussing a very special opportunity for those of you out there that are involved in NGOs, community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, as we seek to do things within our community to help better our community, help develop our community. And on with us, we have two very special people in the form of Miss Penny Gomez, and she is the CEO of the Digicel Foundation, as well as Miss Ryssa Brathwaite. Did I get that right? She's a social performance and social investment advisor at the Digicel Foundation. Good morning and welcome to you both.
Right, good morning. So Ryssa is from Shell and they are partnering with us for the very first time at the Digicel Foundation.
All right, great. Thank you so much. So let's get started about talking about this EPIC program, E.P.I.C. What does it stand for and what is the goal?
Right, it's extraordinary projects impacting communities. That's what it means. And the goal is really for community groups, faith-based organizations, and you said it, and this year we've included schools in that, where you can make a difference in your communities and you can address systemic change. So we're offering 10 groups, $100,000 each to implement change. So you have until May 27th to submit your application. You can go online on our social media pages, either on Facebook, Instagram, or on our website. And the form is there. There's a link to the form, fill it in, and then we will then come back and make a decision as to the final 10. It's really meant, again, you said it, you said community groups. So you have to be a nonprofit or, NGO, community-based groups, um, schools, or you can be a faith-based organization. You must have your annual returns up to date. The project must be sustainable. So it can't be that you just do the project and after that, that's the end of it, it falls flat. So it has to be sustainable. It has to obviously, you have to show that it is something that is needed in your community that would really affect positively the lives of the people in your wider community. And when that's done, the deadline is on May 27th. We will then do a short list of the first 50 persons. From that 50, we will hold a workshop for them where we go through project management, various aspects of project management with them. We give them an opportunity to go back and finesse their applications. Then we'll choose a 30, another shortlist of a 30. And then from there, we'll go back and consider, and then we choose the shortlist of we'll actually choose the final 10 that we will reveal in some sort of ceremony. So again, we've been doing this since 2016. We've actually invested over 4 million TT in projects. Over 162 groups have benefited from this, and we've impacted over 60,000 people. So we're looking this year because it's important. It's a different year. This year, the focus is on environment, is on renewable energy, and it's on agriculture. So we're looking to see the innovative projects that will come forth from the belly of the communities in those respective areas.
Now, Ms. Gomez, you mentioned a bit about that sustainability of these projects. Why is it so important that whatever project, whatever innovative ideas that are put forward by our NGOs and so on, why should it be sustainable?
Well, in development work, it tends to be a major pillar of any development work. And we speak to development work because we understand that it is just a one-off. When we speak to one-off activities, we tend to see that it's charity type based work. So for development work to continue, it is addressing systemic change. So that means it's probably a prolonged problem that you are going to be addressing. So it has to be that even after we've come out of it, it has to be sustainable because it means that the problem is probably something that will not be treatable just with a one-off. It will be something that will give and give and give, as you say. For instance, we've done a project in the past where we did water tank farms up in Tobago. That's just in Lopino. They had an ongoing systemic problem when they were dealing with a drought situation where there was no water. So what was happening during the dry season that it was really very hard for them, for the residents in that area, and they came up with this great idea to do a water tank farm. We did that in conjunction with WASA. So now during the dry season, it is not as burdensome for them because they have an ongoing supply of water. So that addressed a systemic problem, and it speaks to development, overall development of the area, because we know, in fact, how important water is just to living.
And certainly the challenges with state agencies to provide these necessary things. And I want to bring Ms. Brathwaite into the conversation here and tell me a little bit about Shell's involvement with the E.P.I.C program. Why did you guys choose to get behind it?
Well, I mean, a good question would be why not? This is an epic project, as Penny described. You know, Shell as a company, we've been involved in community development, community skills, and entrepreneurship programs for over 100 years in Trinidad. You know, we're not just a company interested in fueling your vehicles, we want to fuel change. And for us, renewable energy, agriculture, and environment are key priorities. They're themes that are relevant not only to our company's goals but also to the country. And we partnered with Digicel Foundation some years ago to bring girls power tech to Trinidad, and we found that that was such a fruitful partnership, and we saw that our values aligned with that of the foundation in that we both appreciate the importance of investing in the core problems in the communities, in facilitating sustainable and lasting change, but also doing that work meaningfully. So epic gives us an opportunity to do more for more, and with more. The collaboration between Shell and Digicel Foundation is one that we're really looking forward to and excited about. But let me speak a little bit about why we are excited about the themes this year. For us as a company globally, we've been investing in renewable energy, and our goal is to provide the world and Trinidad with cleaner and more energy solutions. But this kind of work, it has to happen at different levels in society for us to really see the change in terms of the energy transition. It means that communities need to rise up. All stakeholders need to get involved. And so this is an opportunity for communities to innovate and come up with those community-based energy solutions that can transform the behaviors in the community. Also the environment, it's obviously something that we all care about. It's again a shared responsibility to ensure that we have a Trinidad that we love and that can last for a long time. And also agriculture, we know that food security is a major issue impacting many. And this gives communities an opportunity to feed themselves, feed their households, and feed the community. So very excited to partner with the foundation on this opportunity.
What kind of support does technical support would Shell be provided to the participants in this program?
So what's really nice about this is that we're actually in lockstep with the foundation. This is the brainchild of Digicel Foundation. So they have a team of experienced project officers, but our staff, they're subject matter experts in those areas as well. So they've been joining the open day. Digicel had an open day the foundation had an open day last week, Friday, at the Oval Box to help groups that were interested in applying. We're going to be involved in helping to review the proposals, and to help build the capacity of the groups. One of the key things that we really liked about this initiative is that there's going to be a capacity building opportunity where groups that are interested in applying for the in winning or getting the 100,000, they have the opportunities to be trained in project management, financial management, monitoring, and evaluation. And Shell staff are going to be involved in that process as well. And we hope that when these projects are launched, we're going to be out on the field, on the ground, working with the groups as well. So we're going to be deeply involved, working with Penny and her team.
Now, Ms. Gomez, the
this is what you call a best partner.
Sorry?
This is what you call a best partner. We couldn't want for anything more.
Certainly. I mean, the categories are environment, renewable energy, and agriculture. Of course, all things that are so important to the sustainability of our country as a whole. Now, what kind of ideas are you looking out for from our NGOs?
I'm not going to say too much about it because obviously people are still applying, but we are looking for innovation. We have had some innovation already from what we've seen, the applications that have been submitted already. What nicely I think some people are doing is you can actually do sort of marry all three, combine all three. So you can probably do agriculture, but you can have some solar with it. You can probably so we've seen that people are really taking it very seriously and they're trying to combine both. So when we are considering the applications, obviously innovation will be a strong point for us. Things that rely on digital because we are a corporate NGO. We are funded by our digital lifestyle partner in Digicel. So that I'm just giving you some tips,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously it's going to be big for us in terms of the impact. So it can't be that a project will just really positively affect or impact 10 persons. It has to be a wider number of people in your community. So I hope for those people who are listening that I've given you some little key pointers there. So before you get going with that application, just remember to please get it in by May 27th.
All right. And what are some of the requirements for our applicants? What should they know in putting forth, making the application?
Well, you do need to have, of course, your budget. You need to know what that is. So, and sadly, some people I've seen some applications, some people have not been able to really define their budget. You should be able to articulate what your project is. You need to tell us about it. Think of it like a pitch, and you're pitching this thing, and this is your first height of it is going to be the application form. You have to really put your best foot forward. So that is going to be important, having your budget, making sure your annual return is up to speed. If your annual return is not current, we're not even looking at it, we're not even considering it, because we want to make sure that we are okay. There's a lot of regulations, we fall under FIUTT. We want to make sure that everything is current where that is concerned, that we are law abiding. So we want to make sure that we too are going to be associated with organizations that take governance very seriously. So again, your budget is important, making sure that you are a registered organization. If you're not registered, again, you won't be considered. So it can't be that you decide you have a great idea and you're not a registered group. If you do have a great idea, I don't want to discourage you. What you can do is find some sort of NGO and NPO and share your idea with them, and then they can adopt it and they can apply, and you can just be a part of that. So the budget is important, the project idea, articulating that is important, making sure that you have your registration, that is a must, making sure that your annual returns, that's up to speed. And then it's as simple as that. We'll take it from there, and hopefully you make the shortlist of the first 50.
Okay. And Ms. Brathwaite, we speak about innovation, and sometimes that kind of stumps people as to exactly what should we consider as innovation, and sometimes it's actually really simple things. So I want you to speak to that as to what kind of thinking people should put behind their ideas and their projects to make it innovative enough for Shell and Digicel to go behind.
So, that takes us to the definition of innovation, right? Which is doing something in a way that it's never been done before. How many people could say that they've done hydroponics? How many people could say that they've done environmental initiatives? But what is it about the way that you plan to approach the execution of the project that's going to be different? Is it different type of materials that you plan to use? I say, and I'm really trying to stay away from telling you what to do, but are you able to look at natural resources, sargassum, and transform the way it's used? Are you able to, maybe you I really feel like not saying, but as Penny said, there's digital innovation. Are you using technology?
Mm-hmm.
Are you using materials? Are you delivering the service in a new and interesting way that we've never seen before? I'm not saying that traditional ideas, if you have a tested approach that actually is proven and works, and maybe it's not as innovative, that doesn't mean don't apply, right? I mean, if you have something you've been doing that has already started to transform lives, and this is going to help you go further with it, great. But we're really looking for a group that can show us that there's creative problem solving, there's some critical thinking behind the idea, and that what you're introducing is going to force us to think about doing those kinds of works in a different and new way. So that's how we're thinking of innovation.
And of course, I mean, I wanted to point it out because, like I said, some people can get very intimidated as to what may qualify as innovative. And as you said, sometimes it's something that you've already been doing, that you found to be
Yeah.
successful, and that works. And Ms. Gomez,
You know what, Kandace?
I
I want
go ahead.
I want to encourage people to dream big, and dream it possible. To use that cliche,
Hmm.
because it starts there, and you never know. When I think about the Jobs of this world, and all the other innovators and when they spoke about, it's the crazies of the world that make things happen. You have to really try to think out of the box, and we will see that, and it's that married with the impact that you can have on society, and making sure that all the other things that I mentioned, your ducks in a row there. But I really want to encourage people, think outside the box. And we all have, and people in these community groups have been doing that, because they have been making a difference with very little. But
Yes.
here it is now that your idea with the Digicel Foundation and Shell investing, your idea can actually just be blown up. So, by all means, you just go crazy with it.
Hmm. And folks, remember, this is a grant for up to $100,000.
Not
That
up to,
doesn't just
it
come with
is
the
a
money,
hundred
but it also
thousand.
comes with technical support and guidance and
That's right.
mentorship throughout. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess Ms. Gomez or Ms. Brathwaite, could you, either one of you or both of you, could just enlighten the public as to how they can submit their applications and where they can find more information?
Right. So I'll take that one. You can go to our website or Shell's or social media pages, and there's just a simple link that you click and you submit the form. It is a very, very straightforward form. I've already mentioned to you that the things that you need to have: your budget, your annual returns. You have to be registered, NGO, NPO. It can be a public school, community-based organization, faith-based organization. And you just submit the form, take your time and do it. It only takes about 15 minutes to do the form, but just make sure you have those other things to append, so that we have that information. And it's as simple as that. So you're a click away from making a big difference in your community.
Great. And any final words, Ms. Brathwaite?
Oh, only to thank you for hosting us today and to let the organizations know that we're sitting by, very excited, waiting to see what they come up with. And if we didn't mention it before, we really want to encourage partnerships as well. We know that some of these groups have been going it alone for a long time. This is a great opportunity to reach out to others in your community to join forces and do more together in the same way that Shell and Digicel Foundation are striving to do right now.
Yes, certainly. And Tobago is actually full of groups and places with such amazing ideas that they are indeed struggling. But hey, this is your opportunity to get on board with a great program, some funding, most importantly, some funding to make it
Yes.
happen, make it big, and contribute to our development. Thank you both for being on with us and for sharing with us this information and making sure that Tobago can be included in the selection of 10 persons for a $100,000 grant in terms of sustainability, whether your ideas in agriculture, renewable energy sources, as well as the environment, or together. It's a good option for you.
Thank you, Kandace.
All right, great.
Thank
Well,
you.
viewers, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with more discussions here on GMT.
To a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.